Hello everyone, this is the fourth episode in the Paradox Planetoid Oxygen Not Included AAR, and we're up to cycle 16. So when we last looked at this, we had real oxygen issues, so we hadn't managed to get any rust deoxidizers set up. We were just living off the oxygen that was initially in the base and the little bit that was coming out of some of the plants. Fortunately, as we see here, we've solved all that. So we've got three rust deoxidizers set up here. We're feeding them rust and salt, and they're pumping out lots of nice oxygen. Unfortunately, oxygen is the lighter gas, so it's rising to the top. Carbon dioxide flows to the bottom, and we've got a little bit of chlorine as well mixed in the middle. So what we've done is we've set up an air pump here and some piping, and the piping goes all the way down here, and we output to this gas vent. So we can see that that's slowly starting to build up at the bottom of our base. So putting in some airflow tiles here so it can filter through here. And we've also put off this piping here to another vent, so we'll get some more oxygen there. Probably need to extend that down there actually. Yeah, that's something I'll definitely do. And then we shouldn't have to worry about oxygen for quite a while, which is good. So one of the issues there that I did have was when I was digging up here, there was a great big lump of chlorine, bleach stones. That was what I was trying to remember. So there was loads of bleach stone here that I had to mine out, surrounded by chlorine, and quite a bit of it escaped, and it all tended to settle around here. Still a little bit of it left, as you can see here. So what I did, I've just set up a temporary gas pump with a gas filter, and the gas filter sends the chlorine back into this chamber. So I'll be able to dismantle that in a couple of cycles, and that just cleans up the base a little bit. It's not a major problem. So it doesn't really harm your dupes, chlorine. I mean, obviously they can't breathe it, but they'll hold their breath, and it won't do any material harm, apart from the fact that they can't breathe it. So what else? The other thing is we've got our smart meter set up. So let's just take a look at that. So as I was talking about smart meters, so smart meters is the way that you make sure that your co-generator or any other generator isn't running when it doesn't need to be running. So what you do is you connect some automation wire. If we just highlight that, so you put an automation wire between the battery and the generator, or between the battery and whatever else it is that you're wanting to control. And then you can set some parameters. So what we're saying here is when the battery reaches 90% full, the generator will shut off. When the battery depletes to just 5% less, then the generator will start up again. Reason why we say 90%, not 100%, is because there's just a few seconds when it'll carry on running as it's shutting off, so you're just not wasting any power by putting it at 90%. It doesn't make much of a difference really. And then we've got our power transformer here. So that what we will do is very shortly I'll be building another coal generator. We'll put that here, and a coal generator outputs 600 watts. When we've put 2, it'll be outputting 1200 watts. A copper wire can only have a maximum of 1000 watts, and so if we've got 2 without a power transformer in between, we're going to overload that wire. So the power transformer just prevents any overloads. So what else? So we've had a couple of cycles since the last update. I haven't taken on any new dupes yet. Basically because we haven't got the food to support anyone else, and we didn't have the oxygen either to support anyone else. So we had a couple of Bristol Blossom seeds come through as an option, so I took those. Probably won't use them, maybe I will. So there's no Bristol Blossoms available by default in the Arborea asteroid, but Bristol Blossoms are pretty good for feeding your dupes. Unfortunately, we've only 2 of them. It's a little bit worthless setting them up. You want 7 as a minimum. So what you do is you put down some hydroponic tiles. I haven't actually researched hydroponic tiles yet, but if I had, I'd put 7 hydroponics tiles down. I'd put a light above them. A light can feed 7 tiles. Plant my Bristol Blossom. Feed a water pipe through the hydroponic tiles, and then I'd grow my Bristol Blossom. I could do it with 2, and eventually each time they grow and mature there's a chance that they'll drop another seed, and so I could increase the number of seeds I have, but that would take forever. Might do it if I'm bored, I suppose. We'll see. The other thing that came through was a hatch, so we've got a little baby hatchling here. Now I was worried that there weren't any hatches by default on this asteroid, but there were. So I've got another one here who's dropped an egg which fell down there. Eventually that'll hatch. What I really need to do is build an incubator for it to make sure that it really does hatch. That draws quite a bit of power, but then I'm not using a whole heap of power at the moment either. So I could certainly build an incubator for that, and then hatch that egg, and then I'll have 3 hatches. I definitely want to breed hatches. So hatches will eat they'll eat loads of stuff. So there's a whole list here on this screen. So sand, sandstone, clay. They'll eat basically anything. And then they excrete coal. So you build up a hatch farm, you can supply yourself with coal. But what you really want to do is morph your hatches into stone hatches. So if you feed your hatches sedimentary rock, then there's a chance that they'll lay a stone hatch egg. And then if you hatch that and breed a bunch of stone hatches, then they'll still excrete coal, but they'll do it at a much more efficient rate. So you can get rid of all your crap and get coal from it. So that's something we'll definitely be doing. And we've sort of planned the dimensions of our base for that. Certainly for these 2 layers here. So if we just have a look at that, so we'll put a door and a wall there, and the same on the other side. So 24 by 4, that comes to 96. And if we look at our room guide here, a stable, oh look at that, max size 96 tiles. So so basically these 2 areas here I'm going to set up as hatch farms, and well the same where we've got our Stargate. So we'll have three potential rooms to breed critters, which at the beginning they'll all be dedicated to hatches. So yes, that's going to happen fairly soon. What else? Oh yeah. So down here, so there's some Neutronium, which is undiggable. So if you find Neutronium, you know there is some sort of geyser there. So and we've got two of them, and it's very useful that they're all blocked up, because what that allows you to do is very safely build some insulating walls around them, and then you can dig into them, find out what the geyser is, and if it's something nasty and hot, in fact most geysers are nasty and hot, you do sound going to get hurt, and you can just seal off, you know, little entrance that you've left, and you're safe, and they don't affect your base too much. And if they're nice, like, you know, a polluted water geyser or oxygen geyser or anything like that, you know, then you can maybe open up a little bit of an area and let the water, you know, build up into a pool, and then, you know, have a pump ready and all wired up. So you build that out of something like gold, I forget the name, gold aluminum or something like that, which is highly heat resistant, and then you can pump the water or the gas, whatever it is, out safely without having to send your tubes in while the geyser is active. So you sort of prepare that before you fully excavate the geyser. So what we will do is just dig out, say, these few tiles, and it might give us a clue to what is in there. I don't want to do that yet though. I want my insulation built before I start digging it out, because even if you dig out just a little bit, some of them can start emitting you know, whatever it is that the geyser is, and start hurting your dupes. So we're just going to be a little bit careful on that, seeing we've got plenty of time. I'm probably going to dig through here and let this water come down here, because it's not in a very good place, that water deposit there. Probably going to leave that out there, because that's just nice and convenient. So pretty much the only thing that water's being used for is to feed our supercomputer and the bathrooms. Do want to set up a better bathroom, so we can go to research, and here sanitation, so we can set up lavatories and sinks, so you can feed those water, and then you don't have to worry about polluted water and manually keeping them filled up. But it's not massively high priority, so it's something that we will do, but probably not for quite a few cycles yet. Alright, so I think that's about it for this update. I'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.